So it's getting to be twilight here. And the clouds have rolled in, so that means it might be a little warm, which is good. The clouds act like kind of an insulating blanket in this part of the country, so we could use a little warmth. So I spent all afternoon at a fire. It was a house fire in Squamish. It was just a wreck of a house. So, not a conflagration by any means, but it wouldn't take much to reduce that home to unlivability. It was probably unlivable to begin with. So I'm smoking the last of a bowl of St. Peter Turkish from Pipes and Cigars in an old CustomBilt billiard with the script. So it's definitely one of the old ones. Coors non-alky beer. I'm a really lightweight drinker, and this isn't even drinking really. But I like it, it's refreshing. When I go to a party, sometimes I'll have a beer. So that first beer kind of socially lubricates you. And then from then on, what I do is I just take my empty beer bottle and I fill it from the tap. And so I'll have another few bottles of water after that. And the good host always comes by and says, "You need another beer?" "No, thanks, I'm good." So that's my way of drinking. The lightweight drinker's style of drinking. So anyway, this guy was living in a real wreck of a house. I mean, I do too, in a way. But, you know, it kind of makes you think. We're all renting. Even if you own your own house, and I do, can't take it with you. You know, we're renting, all of us. And people who keep everything immaculate and perfect break a leg, I say. But it's more about your sense of, what would that be? How you're perceived in the world, your own sense of tidiness, security, control. So this guy was much more freeform than that. He's got a plan. Nobody was hurt. No pets were hurt. He didn't have any insurance. But insuring a house like that would be difficult. So he's got a plan to get a little travel trailer and work on the house while he's living in that. And that's legal in this county. So, best of luck. But again, it kind of makes you realize that, yeah, you may own something, but yeah, it's easily taken away, and as we each takes, every step is a step towards our transition to whatever is next. Can't take it with you. So it takes me, I was outside folding up some tarps that I'd had covering firewood. And tones went off, and I was like, oh, okay, a house fire. So I'm about 6 minutes from the station. By the time I got down to the station, they were already there. It was right in town. And they were out of water. Well, that's what we do as volunteers. Is we drive the big water trucks and water tenders. So so they were crying for water when I got there a couple minutes later, and it's all good, you know. And that's what we do. It's what we train for every week when we do fire drill. It was kind of nice to be part of a team. When I first started in with the fire department 20 years ago-ish, I was a volunteer firefighter EMT. But you know, they just didn't really need volunteers in that role. I mean, they were almost entirely a paid department, and you just can't be trained as well as they are, and you're not doing the 48 on, 96 off shifts, so you're not as in tight, you know. So most of the volunteers departed at that point. But those of us who stayed kind of looked at the whole situation and said, you know, what do they really need here? And they need water. Because it's so unglamorous. I find it fun driving those big trucks, but, you know, you're not on the end of the hose going in all bunkered up and packed up, and, you know, so it's not exciting enough. So, and honestly, water tenders are the apparatus in the fire service that kill the most people, because people drive them too fast, they don't drive them often enough, and they're high centers of gravity, big trucks, and mine carries 3,300 gallons, weighs 55,000 pounds. So you can do a lot of damage really quickly, and they tend to kill the most people of any type of apparatus. So the fire department kind of likes to have older, more seasoned guys driving those apparatus. Women, it'd be awesome if there were any that wanted to do it. But, so that's what we do. I'm just chilling out here with a pipe, and I guess you'd call this a beer. I'll call it a beer. What the hell? Rolled a lot of hose. Got pretty sweaty there, so I'm going to take a shower, I think. And that will be the start of the evening. Anyway, being civic-minded, I've always kind of been that way. But it's more for me. I mean, yeah, it's great to help people out, but I do it for me. You know, you're part of the fire department team, family. Get to drive big trucks. How cool is that? And, yeah, you're just part of something bigger than yourself. In the other video, I was talking about a little bit what I do for work, which is many things, actually. But being involved in the fire department is another way to link the employer that I have with the larger community. And so there are benefits to being involved in the fire service that I take back to my employer. So it's all good. This Turkish is okay. It's pretty good right down to the bottom. I wanted something that burned well, which kind of precluded a lot of Kia mix, or sometimes even the aromatics are so glompy, goopy, that they have a little trouble burning. So this was good. And I wanted something that kind of burned quick. Checked all the boxes. It's not a great smoke, but for this moment, it's the right smoke. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Well, everybody's trying to stay warm. I know Europe's getting hit by blizzards. The U.S. is. You Australian guys are probably having it easy. I know Canada is just like the deep freeze, living up to the true white north. So, hopefully this weather will break and we'll get a little warming up here coming up. It eventually will warm up. I need to make a fire in the wood stove, though. I can see that.